Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So last video or the video before, I went over a system that we use every day at Proxy to book a ton of appointments through cold email. And that system was just basically our lead scraping and adding adding to Google Sheet flow, if that makes sense. So built it in Make, and I went over it super fast, really didn't go into any detail in my last video. And then a few people messaged me and just said that they would like a little bit more info on this. So I figured I'd make a video going over the entire build in Make and building it from scratch to show you how it works, how I format everything, and a couple nice little tricks in there so you can not only save a ton of operations in Make, but obviously just get a bunch of leads for super cheap and grow your business on autopilot. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around. It's going to be a good video. So this is what our finished product is going to look like right here. Now, of course, like all the videos, this template will be in the description, so you can copy and paste it, put it into your business. Message me if you have any questions or need help with anything. Always happy to help. So let me run this once and we'll look at the results, and then we'll actually go in step by step on how to build this. So after it completes its run, we are left with a sheet that looks exactly like this. We have the date and then Apollo scrape up there. And then we have first name, last name, the role, company name, obviously the email. We have their LinkedIn and then their website. Now, I'll show you how to customize this data. If you want to optimize for different things, you can add different columns here and do whatever you want here. But these are the merge tags that we use in our cold email campaigns most of the time. So we can reference, hey, Sarah, company name, like we noticed that at Exit Consulting and Creative, you are the founder and the CEO. How's that going? So you can reference these things in the campaign. And then obviously the holy grail, the old LinkedIn, which is super nice. You can send them a connection request. You can automate connection requests. You can actually scrape their LinkedIn using another Apify scraper, which I'll show you in a bit. Not the LinkedIn scrape, but the Apify scraper part. How to enrich that, and then obviously their website as well. So a ton of different things you can do here. But this is the final result. So let's go back here and let me show you just a couple sneaky things in here that we do to just optimize this, save a ton of Make credits, and obviously book a ton of appointments. And this can work for any business. So this would absolutely work for your business if you just wanted to plug and play, put this in there. So let's create a new scenario here. All right, so we have our scenario here. So first module we're going to want to add is a watch rows module. It's one right at the top here. Create a connection. Just choose my Google connection right there. And then I'm just going to go to the exact same spreadsheet that I had in the example. So spreadsheet ID, it's called personalized cold email. So essentially just make a spreadsheet in your Google account that you have linked here, the same one, and then it should just pop up in this list and you can look it up. Now, if we go to the actual Google Sheet that I'm referencing in the module, we can see here that I just have one header, and that's URL to scrape. So this is the URL that we are going to be scraping from, and I got this URL from Apollo. So if we go to this, we can see, we'll go into my Apollo dashboard right here, and we have a search right here that I did. So in Apollo, you can make a free account. You don't have to pay for anything, which is kind of the beauty of this automation. It works around Apollo's paywall, which I'm sure they aren't too happy about, but it works. So we're going to keep doing it until they patch it. But essentially, you make a free account on Apollo. Then from there, you're going to want to obviously filter for what you're after, whatever niche, whatever vertical you're in. So I do emails. So you go to people, prospects and enrich, click on people. So I do email status verified. And then in job titles, you can add however many you want in here. CEO, founder, founder, CEO, founder, and president. I put Canada. You can add the number of employees, industry and keywords. So I could look up like plumbing as a keyword, add that in. And then we get our results. So you can see 47,000. That's a ton because I haven't been like too specific with any of this. It's a pretty generic search. But then once you're happy with your search and you've added all of your things in here, all your keywords, absolutely everything, then you just go to the URL, copy that just like that, come back here and paste it right in here. So column A2 or cell A2, paste that right in there and just name your sheet something appropriate. You don't have to change this bottom sheet name at all. But the reason we do this is because you could add a few more and just whatever you want. And you could add like, you know, you could do like plumbing, solar, and label them just like this. And then you could have your different scrape results in here. And then back in your make scenario, if you click on this clock right here, you can see at regular intervals. So, or you could just do like days of the week or like every day. And then you could specify a time in 24-hour clock. So this would be 4:14 p.m. It's going to run. So once a day, you could scrape all of your URLs right here and get the, you know, subsequent data back from those and then create sheets with names for the different scrapes. So super automated, super nice, but we're not going to do this here. We're just going to do on demand just like that. Okay, cool. So we click on this. Sheet name is just going to be sheet 1. And then the limit is just going to be 1 for this. We just want to work with one URL at a time, one scrape at a time. So the next step in the process is to go back into Google Sheets and we're going to create another new sheet. Now I've named mine Mergo sheet template because we use the Mergo mail merge over here to send our campaigns. But again, whatever you need, whatever you want to do here, but this is going to be the template that we're going to use to create our new sheets with our scrape data off of. So for the headers, we're going to do, again, what corresponds to our campaigns in that other sheet I showed you. So first name, last name, role, company name, but whatever you want to call them, whatever you want to scrape for, right? Because this is all data that's present in the scrape. So first name, last name, role, company name. And it's very important that you add these 2 curly braces on either side of your variable. This will show Google Sheets that these are templates and like variables that can then be auto-populated with whatever data you decide should go in there, which I'll show you right now. But this is very important. Whatever data you want to collect, put it in these curly braces and leave the sheet blank. And that's all you need to do to create your template sheet. Then if we go back to make, we can add another Google Sheet module here. Now this one's just going to be create a spreadsheet from a template right here, Google connection, and then the template spreadsheet ID is going to be Mergo sheet template. Again, just choose the name of the one that you created. Then these are the values. So you can see Google Sheets is picking up all of our values in here and it knows what we have. So for us, it's going to just be the exact same. And it's going to be the exact same because even though in the template sheet, it looks like it might appear at first glance, like since we have first name, last name, role, that all of the new sheets we create, the values in like A1, B1, C1 will be first name, last name, role, like exactly what's up here. But it's actually going to be whatever you put in here. So you see this first name one right here. If I put like dog in there, then instead of in my new sheet, A1 would be dog and not first name, right? So that's why for us, we're just putting exactly what we have here because we need these for our Mergo campaign so that Mergo can actually recognize our variables and what we have here. LinkedIn, cool. Now, this is going to be the title of our new sheet right here. Now, our new sheet can be called like a few things. So for example, I mean, to make it a little more personalized, and again, this is just showing that like I don't know everything and I don't know, there's probably a better way to create like a really good name for this, but I don't know exactly what it should be. Like, for example, if you're doing a plumbing scrape, specifying like plumbers, December 11th, 2024, Apollo scrape, having a really specific name like that. But as far as I could think, you would just do like a format date, come back here, put now, which is like the current date. So Wednesday, December 11th, 4:19 p.m. And then we're going to go year, month, day. One of these, Apollo scrape. So it'll be like the date and then Apollo scrape is what the title of our new sheet's going to be called. So at least we'll have the date to help us like categorize these and organize these. But as I said, probably a better way to do this. Drop a comment if you know some crazy make.com sauce that I don't know. And then for the new document location, we're just going to do proxy AI home base. This is where we keep all of our files. Go into here. We're going to go into outreach, add another one. So this is just digging down the file structure, the file tree to the exact location that we want it. And then we'll just do leads. And then we'll just put it in here. Actually, I think we have one for Mergo formatted leads. Yeah, Mergo formatted leads. Okay, cool. So that's exactly where that's going to go. So watch new rows for the URL and then create a template from, or create a spreadsheet from the template. Now let's move on to the next step. So then we're going to go to Apify. We're going to go run an actor here. Now Apify is the awesome YouTube token. Now Apify is the amazing scraping platform that we use. It is super cool. They have like 1 million scrapers on here, and basically people just make scrapers for you to use. And then they do all the hard work making the scraper, and then you just get to benefit from like the data that it scrapes. And it takes like really no technical knowledge to run and be able to use, but you can get like insane results for your business and scrape a ton of leads or whatever you want. So for us, since we're doing Apollo stuff, just look up Apollo in here, make an account. This is just my test account for YouTube. So as you can see, bottom left, you get $5 free usage, which is super cool. So we're gonna use this one by Code Crafter, this Apollo scraper, scrape up to 50K leads right here. Then this one we're gonna use. So you can see it's $1.20 per 1,000 leads, which is insane. So just do the math on that and you can see how cheap it is to get a shit ton of leads. So then instead of using this manual, we're going to use this JSON right here. So let's copy this for the actor. Since we've already subscribed to it, it's going to be right in here, Code Crafter, Apollo Scraper. We're going to want to run this synchronously. And then for the input JSON, copy that stuff that we pasted right there. And then this is the URL that I had before in there, I believe. But we are going to want to do that. And for the URL, we're going to go down here and put our URL to scrape right in here. And then for the total number of records, let's do 10 just for this test. So we can see what we're doing here. Let's do 5 actually. We'll get the idea. We've got get personal emails true, get work emails true. So if one fails, we'll at least have the other email to go off of, hopefully. And then URL is scrape. For the memory, 512, that's the max you can do with this specific scraper. And then that's this setup. So then once you actually run an actor and scrape a data set, you need to get the data set items. It's just part of part of Apify's process. Very important to do. You can't really get away from doing this part. So for the dataset ID, we should have a handy little variable in here. Default dataset ID. There we go. So just slap that in there. Format JSON. That's good. We'll do 10. Maximum number of items to return. Although even if we did 1 million in here, it wouldn't matter because we're only scraping 10. So you kind of get the idea there. And that seems good for that, for the dataset items. Yeah, it's looking good to me. Then for the next module here, we're going to go, let me show you that again. We're going to go tools, and then we're going to go text aggregator. Source module, we're going to do the get dataset items. And for the and then just click show advanced settings actually. Row separator, click other. Separator is going to be a comma. Then for the text, we are going to do a little bit of a special format here. So we're going to create an array of our dataset items so that the text aggregator can just format them in an array, essentially. And you'll see why we need an array in a second here. But once we put them into the Google Sheet, it's a way for the Google Sheet to know and like sort our data in the correct sections so it can put it into the correct columns in the sheet. So we're going to start with just a nice square bracket there. One of these. double quote. And then we are going to put we need to run this first actually. So let me just run this. The reason we need to run this is because we don't have any data from the get dataset items to actually put in here. And this is what we're going to put in here. So let me run this quickly. So while that's running and getting our results for us, I just want to say quickly that it's really interesting to me, the knowledge gap from entrepreneurs who know about AI, automation, scraping, technology, all of the new age things that are emerging that really just gives you a level up in business and supercharge your systems versus the people who are a little bit stuck in their old systems and processes. Me and my friend the other day were actually just saying how it's funny trying to convince somebody to change their workflows that's worked for them for 5, 10, 15, 20 years in their business. And it really starts with just education, partly why I'm making these YouTube videos, partly why I'm passionate about showing people these new systems and new ways to think about business and operating with a very high emphasis on software and automation. And that's really the goal, is just to get as many people aware of these systems and techniques as possible. And hopefully, just, to end my ramble, hopefully this video shows a little glimpse into that world and you can implement it into your business. And if you do decide to put this in and you get good results from this system, send me an email, send me a LinkedIn message. Would love to chat with some people. All right, so it's finished running here. So now if we go back into the text aggregator, okay, perfect. So you got the dataset ID in there and the scenario is ran. It's completed. So now we should have access to everything we need in here. So we have the module 12, get dataset items. That's the one we're going to be pulling from. So in our sheet, we have first name, last name. We have first name, last name, role, company name. So if we go back here, we are going to organize it in that order. So we have first name and then finish and with another set of double quotes, comma, space, another set, and then we're going to go last name, comma, space, another set, last name, role, which is the title right here, comma, space, another one. What do we have next? Keep going to the wrong sheet. Role, company name, email, website. Role, so now let's do company name here. Next, his email, which is right here. Email, then website URL right here. And then I think it's LinkedIn URL is the last. Website, LinkedIn, yeah. So then from here, we have his LinkedIn URL. Make sure that it's not this LinkedIn URL, which is under the organization tab. That's the organization's LinkedIn URL. Again, might be useful for your use case. You can just decide what you want to pull. So as I said, we're going to do just his LinkedIn. So there's that. And then we're just going to end it with another square bracket right there. So now you've built an array with all the data that we need. Pretty cool. So after our text aggregator in there, once we've built our array, we're going to go back to Google Sheets, go all the way to the bottom, click on make an API call. So in here, we're going to put a special URL in, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. So the reason we're actually going to make an API call versus just like adding a row, which is kind of the classic way to just add rows to Google Sheet in Make, we're making this API call because we are going to save a ton of credits by doing it this way. Scraping is a very credit intensive process in Make. So for example, the $12 a month plan in Make, you get 10,000 operations is what they're called. And each operation is denoted by this one right here. So this module, this run and actor took one operation. This get dataset items took one operation. But if you do multiple rows in a Google Sheet and you add all those in, each row is going to take up one operation. And since scraping is such a large process, like we're getting a lot of data, this is going to be like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 operations, which is just going to blow through our Make budget, which is really inefficient. So with this API call, this is kind of a little sneaky maneuver that you can do. And it's only going to cost us 1 credit to add virtually unlimited leads into our Google Sheet. So it's going to be spreadsheets / And then we're going to go all the way down to our create a sheet from a template and put the spreadsheet ID in. That's the second thing you need. So make sure it's pulling from the create a spreadsheet from template module, spreadsheet ID /values. So then we're going to use /values /a:/z, and then another colon, and then append. And that is going to be our URL. Looks a little bit funky, but this will allow us to pull the spreadsheet ID that we create dynamically. So we make sure to update that spreadsheet. Then for the method, it's going to be a post method because we are adding things to the spreadsheet. Leave this content type application JSON right there, but we're going to add a query string down here, parameter. And for the key, it's going to be value input option, just like that. And then all caps, user entered, just like that. Then for the body, you can see down here, just copy exactly what I've done. So we're going to use a curly brace, quotes, values, closing quote, and then colon, square brackets, curly bracket, just like that. And then within these square brackets, add this text from the text aggregator right down there. Hit save. Hit save on this. Boom. So now we have this scenario complete. So this is the basic version completely done. Now, here's some ideas that you could do to actually upgrade this, make it a little bit better, and just add a little more depth to this. So make an API call. So this scenario will end as it is with all of our leads. Remember, we can adjust however many leads we want by doing this. So 1,000 leads or 500 or whatever. So all these leads will get added to this Google Sheet, the new one that we created from our template. Once they're in there, it's kind of up to you to do whatever you want to do with them. So remember, we have the website, we have the LinkedIn, we have their email. So you could potentially add a module here, HTTP. You could do the make a request. The URL could be their website. So from your Google Sheet, or just from here, you could find the organization website. So here, you could add the organization website directly into here. You could scrape it. You could add like a text parser module right here, text parser, and you could do match pattern, and then you could add some rejects in here. So it would pull perhaps the about section or like the info section, and then you could write personalized copy to the leads based on that. Or you could literally go into here. You could grab the spreadsheet. Let me just go to it, to the one we have here. So this is one of the ones we made. So, oh, is it still, does it say dog still? That's kind of funny. But anyway, so in here, you have the spreadsheet. So you go file, download CSV, and then you could copy and paste it into ChatGPT or upload it to ChatGPT and say, write me personalized icebreaker based on the person's title and use their name. And then you could have that as another column in the sheet that you actually send them dynamically. So we have a couple of those, but I will save those for another video just so you don't get information overload. This is probably enough for this video, especially if you haven't seen a system like this before. And yeah, guys, I've probably been recording for too long already, but this is going to be the flow. This is how we scrape a ton of leads. And now let me just show you one more time the full run A to Z. So there we go, guys. We have our brand new sheet that's created. December 11th, Apollo scrape. We have first name, not dog, first name in here. Last name, role, right? All the stuff we talked about. So there we go. There's the sheet. Feel free to use this however you want. Again, message me if you have any questions about this. I'm happy to help. Just so you don't get information overload, I'm going to end the video there. Again, if you need any questions or need any help with anything or have any questions, please message me. Always happy to help. And that's going to be the video, guys. See you in the next one.